This is Mount Massive.
Yodelay.
All right. So, again, if you're following along on our schedule on the Instagram, we are doing the top 5 best arguments in sports. Nate's going to carry, again, the load here for Alex. I'm gonna go first. No, you know what? I'm gonna have Muff go first because I tailed him, as we say on the betting show, on a lot of these. So I'm gonna let Muff go first, so as not to steal his thunder.
Okay. So no particular order. Again, this is just amount massive, so all of these are viable candidates for the throne here. So I'm going to go with as far as arguments. I think one of the arguments that may never die. Who's the GOAT? Kobe, Jordan, or LeBron? Next for me are the best dynasties in NFL history. Who is the next on the list? Who is the best modern era tennis player? Federer, Nadal, Djokovic. Next, I have the biggest bust in sports. So
I thought that was an interesting one. I like that one.
There's always banter around who's the worst, who's the biggest bust, right? Who's worse? You have that in basketball, in football. You don't really hear so much about in baseball. So usually in those two, so basketball and football mostly there. And lastly, I have, is Phil the reason for all the titles, or was it the players that he had the ability to coach?
I would love to have these arguments, like do a whole. Maybe that's what we do in the holiday episode. We just pick 2 or 3 episodes, or 2 or 3 arguments, and we just have the arguments. All right, for me, I have who is the GOAT in sports in general. I have the best dynasties, like you said, in the NFL. But I also would like to know the best dynasties overall. College football playoff systems. So we have the BCS. There was an argument there. We have whatever we're calling this college football playoff system. But you always have who can do it better, expand playoffs, so on and so forth. So I have college football playoff systems. The one and done rule for college basketball. And then should college athletes be paid? Because I have this argument with my father all the time.
All the time. The one and done rule in college basketball is always, I think, gonna be an argument until something changes.
So to you, Nate, 5 best arguments in sports.
All right, on the fly and doing some little Googling here. Salary cap in sports. So you look at it like basketball, football have salary caps. There's no salary cap in baseball, for example. I think there absolutely needs to be a salary cap in every sport. Otherwise, you're going to have the same shit you have every year. Let's see. Next one. Should Pete Rose be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I like that one too. He will place the first sports bet in Ohio once it becomes legal. Like they're doing a thing at the casino with him. So that's cool. I agree with you there on Nate.
Oh, no, I think he absolutely should be too. Here's another interesting one I saw. Should advertisements be on jerseys of professional sports teams?
That's another good argument.
I mean, they're paying all this money, but at the same time, it's like I see these, like international hockey games, and it's like you see them all over. Like even like locally, you go to the minor league hockey and you see it all over the ice.
Mm-hmm.
It's just getting everywhere, and I think it's just getting outrageous. So that's what, 3?
Yep.
Is instant replay killing sports?
I tell you what, that Alabama fumble situation, I felt like killed that game a little bit for me, the viewer. So I can see how that's an argument.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at that one, it's like you look at both sides. Yeah, you want to get the call right, at the same time, you're just killing the momentum of the game. It's like the human element needs to be in there. I mean, same thing. You can kind of look at that with baseball too, with the automated strike zone in a way.
The other part of that bothers me is the slowdown. Like it's happening in real speed when we see it, but then they slow-mo it, and it's like it takes some of the fun away from it for me. Like, oh, that ball's wiggling if you slow-mo it to this frame and that frame. It's like, oh, come on. And 5.
Number 5, what is the 5th major sport in America? Because you think you've got, I mean, you got baseball, basketball, hockey, football.
Cornhole.
For this show. For this show, it's cornhole.
It's like, I'm sure you say soccer, but I mean, I'm sure you're gonna have people there for other sports. So it's like, can it become the 5th major sport across the country? I mean, I know there is Major League Soccer and all that, but it just doesn't seem like it's really taken off yet. Like it
No,
hasn't.
I agree.
Well, it will here in the next month or two because you got the
Yeah.
World Cup.
The World Cup. yeah.
Everybody's a soccer fan, and once every 4 years.
Mhm. But still, it's like even like ESPN now is starting to pick up hockey. I think hockey's definitely the 4th out of those 4 I mentioned. But like you're starting to see like hockey almost on TV every night. And you're not even seeing that in soccer yet. So it's like, can soccer really make the push to get in the door to be one of the major sports in America?
No, I agree. There's a whole
Mhm.
argument of itself. So good job, Nate.
Thank you, Bleacher Report.
Hey, where do you think we start our conversations?
Exactly. And that is Mount Massive.
Yodelay.